The Australian transport industry is globally recognized for its extensive use of the legendary road trains. These exceptionally long and heavy vehicles are truly unique, as there is no other country or region in the world where their use is as widespread as in Australia. To understand why this practice is basically exclusive to this immense country, it is necessary to delve into some basic concepts, starting simply by understanding what a road train really is. Designed to efficiently transport enormous volumes of cargo over long distances, road trains are one of the most enigmatic transport methods due to their presence and size. In essence, they are convoys made up of a main power unit and several trailers coupled in series. This configuration gives them their characteristic length and load capacities, qualities that also distinguish them from conventional trucks in a single trailer. These characteristics are not to be underestimated, since on public roads these convoys can measure from 28 meters, coupling just a couple of trailers, or even reach up to 60 meters in length, with 4 trailers being pulled simultaneously. This size is directly proportional to the load capacities, knowing that an extensive, fully loaded convoy can weigh around 200 tons. It should be noted that these dimensions and capacities vary a lot depending on the application of each road train. This is because in private settings, such as in mining companies, agricultural environments, or even in construction, road trains can far exceed the typical convoys that circulate on ordinary roads, reaching up to 7 trailers connected at once. The origin of this peculiar transport solution dates back to the 1930s, with the emergence of the first commercial road train, which we talk about in depth in a video you can find on our channel. Since then, the convoys could reach lengths of up to 56 meters, similar to how it is done today. However, the load capacities were notably inferior, barely exceeding a few tens of tons. This first road train, which would mark the beginning of an entire revolution, was designed for the movement of animals, with the intention of transporting up to 100 heads of bovine cattle in better conditions than with ordinary grazing. The concept as such arose from the existence of similar transport solutions used by the military. A few years before the beginning of the 1930s, the government of Great Britain had already proposed the idea of creating a transport solution that would allow them to deploy resources in inhospitable areas. From this proposal, the government road train 8x8, manufactured by the Associated Equipment Company, appeared. If you want to learn more about this military road train, we recommend you watch our video about it. After conducting tests precisely in Australia, the concept of a truck pulling a large group of trailers became fully ingrained in the transport industry of this region, mainly because it could fully adapt to both its lack of infrastructure and urban planning and its own geographical circumstances. In this way, the idea became the solution that stayed to never leave, remaining to this day for multiple reasons. Among these reasons is the aforementioned geographical adaptation. As the 6th largest country in the world in terms of area, Australia has vast, remote, and sparsely populated regions. This added to the distribution of the land, with very extensive plains that facilitate practically straight roads and highways, allows the trucks to not encounter great resistance when moving forward while pulling hundreds of tons. During long-distance trips, truckers really do not have many obstacles that could force them to perform complicated maneuvers. This is largely due to the fact that the Australian road network, in general, is adapted and planned precisely for these road trains. The roads are designed to support the weight and size of these convoys, taking into account factors such as the necessary turning radius and the free distances between bridges and overpasses. That is why road trains became an efficient and cost-effective solution for moving goods over long distances, especially in regions where infrastructure and transport options are very limited. Although it might seem that using conventional trains would be more profitable, the lack of adequate railway infrastructure prevents Australia from having uniform and complete coverage across all its regions. Unlike other countries, such as China or several European nations, Australia has very limited railway infrastructure. The existing network mainly connects the most important cities and a few regional centers along the densely populated eastern and southeastern coasts. In the remote inland regions known as the outback, the low population density makes it economically unfeasible to expand the railway system. As a result, train access there is extremely limited, or in many cases non-existent. Another important factor is the long distances between major cities and smaller communities. In these areas, routes can stretch for hundreds or even thousands of kilometers. Without road trains, it would take 4 separate trucks and 4 different operators to move the same amount of cargo that a single road train can haul. This would dramatically increase operating costs, not only in salaries but also in the wear and tear of the vehicles. For all these reasons, it can be said that the main explanation why Australia is the only country where road trains are a common transport method lies in its unique geography. To this, we can also add the limited railway coverage, the low population density in the outback, and the suitability of the road network, which was practically developed around this transport solution. However, having a transport solution that moves hundreds of tons and stretches for dozens of meters also brings important implications. These include challenges in road infrastructure as well as regulations and legal aspects. While it is true that roads in the Australian outback have been designed with these convoys in mind, in practice it would be impossible for all highways to operate under the same conditions. For this reason, the planning of truckers' routes is still essential. It must always be considered which highways and secondary roads are capable of supporting the weight of a road train, and at the same time, allow enough maneuverability when approaching or entering urban areas. This situation also explains something interesting. Australia is one of the few countries where cab-over trucks can be seen almost as often as long-hood trucks. Cab-overs are preferred in urban areas or in tasks that require great maneuverability, such as loading docks or distribution centers. Long-hood trucks, on the other hand, are the favorite choice for long-distance travel, where aerodynamics and driver comfort are more important. Regarding regulations, the Australian government has established a set of rules to guarantee that road trains can operate safely and sustainably. These rules focus on requirements, restrictions, and limits, mainly related to size and road safety. Among them are the obligation to have a special driving license, a maximum speed limit of 100 kilometers per hour, and the use of certain additional equipment. This equipment may include reinforced cooling systems, which are essential for the desert climate, as well as the well-known bumper bars. These protections are crucial for operators traveling through remote areas, since it is unfortunately common to encounter wild animals crossing the roads. In a future that moves toward modernity, eco-friendly solutions, and alternative fuels, road trains have remained the most logical option for crossing the Australian deserts. While it cannot be said that this solution will last forever, the idea of electric trucks hauling hundreds of tons in the outback still seems decades away, if it ever becomes possible at all. For now, road trains represent a solution that could only succeed in such a unique environment as Australia. The vast territory, its geography, the scattered communities, and the limited railway coverage all combine to make road trains the most efficient and profitable answer to the logistical challenges of moving cargo across the outback. In most other countries, this type of transport would be impossible. Yet in Australia, harsh conditions were turned into logistical advantages. Today, it is common to see road trains stretching up to 60 meters in length and carrying 200 tons of cargo. Their existence proves that mobility solutions are not universal, but depend entirely on the territory where they are applied. In Australia, this solution has not only connected large cities and remote towns, but has also become a defining feature of the country's land transport industry,